Now, moving to a couple tight ends, and I had a hard time sifting through which one of these two guys I preferred. We'll start with Tucker Kraft, really closely in line with my next guy as well. I have a hard time picking which one I like more, but let's dive into Kraft first, who had 93% of the routes. That was a team high for the Packers. Ultimately third on the team with a 17% target share, got in the end zone. If you saw that nice athletic play leaping into the end zone there, ultimately finishing with 16 PPR points. The tight end 6 for the week had 4 catches, 57 yards, and a score on those 6 targets. Now, the reason why he's not the shoe-in #1 tight end pickup of the week for me is it really just comes down to matchups here. Gets Carolina the 29th in terms of points allowed to tight ends. Very tough matchup, and just it's more so that you can just run the ball down their throat and you don't have to throw against them at all. And so I don't like that spot. And then Minnesota, hey, that's not so bad. But by then, and maybe even as early as this week, Musgrave could be back. He's eligible to return from the IR, which is why I'm just not as high on Kraft. I actually think Kraft's the better player. I went and said that earlier this preseason, that he was my preferred guy and certainly looked wrong for a while. But in terms of their play on the field, I still think Kraft has shown more and wouldn't be shocked if they go to a lot of 2 tight end sets or ultimately just turn the keys over to Kraft, given that he's been a very productive player in Musgrave's absence. But Musgrave does bring a lot of athleticism to the table, more of a deep seamer. Like this is kind of that Gronk-Hernandez duo. Now, not even close to that, but in terms of a big body that can block and do it all, well, there's Kraft for you, maybe an every snap player, whereas Musgrave more of that move around kind of receiving weapon here. But I do prefer Kraft of the two. That's just one of the reasons why I'm not quite going all in to go get Tucker Kraft as my #1 tight end play of this waiver wire. In fact, my #1 guy is Hunter Henry. Only 24% rostered, had a whopping 9 targets. That was 31% target share here for Hunter Henry. He caught 7 of those 9 targets for 66 yards and a touchdown, has now gone back-to-back games with 19 and 20 PPR points. The tight end 4 in back-to-back weeks, given that he had 40 yards and 2 scores just 2 weeks ago against the Steelers. And who's coming to town this week? The Denver Broncos. Actually, they're going there, but still, they are giving up the most points by a mile to tight ends, and they just gave up 3 touchdowns to Sam Laporta. I get it. Hunter Henry is not Sam Laporta. I'm in love with Sam Laporta. I think the guy is an absolute animal. But still, this is a guy that's now scored 3 touchdowns in his last 2 games, that has shown a really nice chemistry here with Bailey Zappi. And we've seen Hunter Henry have these type of stretches in the past, certainly in a Patriots uniform, but even with the Chargers, we've seen a high receiving, total high upside as a scorer as well. So he's really coming through for you right now, Hunter Henry. And again, that 31% target share was by far a team high. He's the clear go-to guy. The only reason I'm not even higher on him this week is he did leave the game with a knee injury. Now, he walked off on his own power. There's been no word quite yet what his deal is. But obviously, should he be out, of course, Tucker Kraft is the preferred pivot there. Maybe Mike Gesicki even becomes a threat to score a touchdown against that pathetic Broncos defense. Alrighty, Wolfpack, that wraps up our tight end, guys. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.